Here we go. We're getting there. So we may or may not be loading. It's just sitting here doing its thing. If you're watching us live, we're not sure if we're live just yet. We're patiently waiting. Here we go. All right, now we're here. Apologies if you've been watching us, just sort of staring at the screen for a few moments. Facebook was doing its spinny thing. Lovely to be here now. We are here and live, and I have the beautiful Gemma with me this morning. We're going to share a little bit more about that in a moment. But those of you who are maybe just watching us or me for the first time, we've just stumbled across this. I'm Rebecca Thompson, and I'm the creator and founder of Be a Beacon. It's a program and a community, really, and a pathway for women who are wanting to really live a life that is fulfilling, that feels like it is fulfilling their soul's mission and their soul's purpose without draining our kind of human resources. So it's a very sacred path. It's a path of leadership, whether that is out in the front of many, many people, or whether that is a leader of your own life and cleaning up stuff in your own life and creating those amazing new patterns for your family, or something else, something altogether different. And why we've been doing these interviews is because there's a number of reasons. The first reason is because those of us just living our life and perhaps wanting to create change, there can be a sense that change is for others and not for us. There can be a feeling perhaps of disillusionment if you've tried different things before, a fear around spending time or money on yourself and not sure if that's going to bring the fruits that you want, going to create the change that you want, and it's going to be worthwhile. And these women that I'm doing these interviews with, and all of the women in our Beacon community program, have been at that point of, do I do something that potentially creates change? Do I risk that? Do I trust myself? Do I trust this person? Do I trust this program, or whatever it is? And so I wanted to share that journey of women that have successfully crossed that bridge, jumped that off that cliff, and what is possible. And what I love about so many women in our Beacon community, well, all of the women, is that they are so different. We have different ages, we have different backgrounds, we have different relationships, different aspects in relation to their work and what they're doing. We've got accountants and spiritual leaders, we've got everything. And so this journey is for any type of woman, but a specific woman who has a keen yearning and desire to really live their fullest potential, to really embody their divinity, to really be a part of this ascension process that we are in right now, to really step up and start bringing heaven to earth through you in an embodied, grounded, practical, connected way. And so today we have the amazing Gemma.
Hi.
You might just be refreshing for a moment. Hopefully we are still online. You might just be having a little bit where we're checking out. Hopefully we're good. And hi, Gemma. And the other reason that we're doing this for our beacons as well is because this is part of our empowerment journey, is being able to speak up and courageously share our stories, share our journey. And that's something that can be really challenging. It can be challenging to be seen. It can be challenging to be heard. It can be challenging to stay in presence and do something like this, potentially on a global scale. I have people like all across the world that follow me. And to share that in a powerful, present, and courageous way. That is challenging for a lot of people. And it is part of our program and part of this journey to do some speaker training so that when there are challenging situations around us, whether it's speaking or whether it's a little bit of conflict in the world, we're able to stay fully present and fully connected to our divinity, to our soul self, to that unwavering peace, no matter what. And that is where speaker training comes in incredibly powerfully. I know it's been a powerful journey for you, Gemma. Maybe we'll touch on the speaker part of it. And just very grateful that you're here today. Gemma's had an amazing journey with us. She's actually now a co-facilitator. So some of our beacons that have been with us a while, if they have a desire to, and we identify that they have the capacity, then that there's a possibility of them joining us and helping to facilitate as we grow and grow and grow. And Gemma's presence and her intuition and her compassion and her capacity to just drop in and say the right thing at the right time has just been an absolute gift for our community. And she's a really welcome angel in our team now, in our facilitators, which is just beautiful. So thank you for that, for walking this path with us in that way.
Yes.
Beautiful. Let's share a little bit then, Gemma, about how we met and what life was like for you. We've put in here on the title, The Art of Finding Space and Joy, or something like that. The Art of Finding Joy, I forgot what I wrote now, in a busy world. And I think it's something that so many people can relate to. It's fully busy. You've got young kids. Life was busy when you met me. Just tell us a little bit what that was like for you. And I know that we're going to have some women out there. They're going to be like, yes, that's what life is like for me back then. So tell us what it was like for you.
Yeah, so when we met, I was doing a lot of networking to try and build a business of my own. And I had done a lot of, probably 2 or 3 years of sort of dabbling, if you like, in personal development. And there was always a cycle of push, 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 push. I'm exhausted. Push, push, push. Stop. And I'd go back into my cave to recover and recuperate every, 6 months, and hide for a few months and come back out feeling refreshed. And and I have had, then when we met, I think my daughters must have been 4 and 5. And so, I was working and building a business and parenting my children. And I was just ready to go deeper with myself and my journey of healing, if you like, which it's not healing. It's just refinding myself under all of those labels that I was living, all of those hats I was living, and just sort of bringing those together and letting things fall away that weren't necessary in my life, that were just feeding that busyness that I was living.
And what does it feel like? Because one of the big journeys that we're on it as beacons, isn't it, is to really feel, because we can become so numb to all of that stuff. So looking back now, what did it actually feel like to have all of those hats, trying to be ticking all the boxes? Like you say, you were trying to do your business, you had young kids, What does that actually feel like on a physical, emotional level? What was life like?
Well, I was exhausted, but I was also numb. So I didn't feel. And I remember when I first started my beacon journey, it was quite rough for me personally for the first sort of few months. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I want to do this, because I was learning to feel, because I just switched off feeling. So I was numb. Yeah, because it was just all too much. So if I just switch all that off and keep busy, keep going, I'll be fine.
Yeah, and it's such a paradox, isn't it? Because I know that that can be a real handbrake for a lot of people when
Mm.
they know that they want to do something. They want to create some kind of change because they know they're not happy. And yet there's a fear around what might come up on the path, a fear around feelings. Of course, that's why we numb out in the first place, right? We don't want to feel the stuff. We don't want to feel the discomfort. So what could you say to someone like now, having kind of, obviously you had a desire, a big enough desire to want change to risk that. And then having now gone through being able to feel your feelings and helping others now to feel theirs. What would you say to someone who's afraid of feeling their feelings or doesn't even know that they're not feeling them, right? Because they're so numb.
Yeah. What would I say? It's just worth it. Like the connections I have in my life are way better. They're way deeper. The way that I parent my children now is all from a place of feeling. And I think things can be dissolved so quickly when you just stop and, okay, how are you feeling in this moment? What do you need to feel differently? And let's work through that. And that's how I parent now. So parenting is just an absolute breeze compared to how it was. And well, not always, but in comparison, there's times. But yeah, it's worth it. Life can be so much more fulfilling when you feel.
Yeah. I know one of the things we talk about a lot, isn't it, is that if you can't feel the hard stuff, you can't feel the really, really good stuff. That really good feeling is not really real. It's just dependent on the things that are happening around you. Yeah. Whereas when you really allow yourself to go there with a feeling, you get the whole spectrum and realize that you are more than your external environment. You are this incredible feeling, navigating, divine human being that gets to choose how they want to feel. And there's no actual real good or bad.
Yeah. And I had a moment, which I think was maybe a little while before I met you, but it was exactly that. I was completely numb. I had postnatal depression with my second child, and that presented for me as complete numbness. So I didn't feel the downs as bad because I was just sitting in the middle. But then I realized one day I can't feel deep love for my children either. And so it was like, no, I can't do this anymore. And so that was a big part of learning to feel as well, was letting all of it, not, yes, there's bad stuff, but there's some really, really good stuff to feel as well.
And if we don't allow ourselves to feel that challenging stuff, it's not going to move, right? It's just going to get buried, isn't it? Which we've learnt that as well, all the hard way. Oh, so good. I think
and I can I add too, sorry, you're a bit breaking up there, or maybe it's me, but I also had chronic back pain when we first met and when I first started with you, which I think is a lot to do with the not feeling, and I don't have that anymore. I walked into your half day in chronic pain and I walked out with no pain, and I was like, what the? I had lived with it for years, every single day, and it was just part of life, and I managed it, and it was just my normal. And the odd occasion now where it flares up, I'm like, oh, okay, that's my little messenger. There's something that I'm, not doing, feeling, and have to. And I know how to work through it now, so it doesn't hang around or rarely hangs around for more than a day, and it's nothing compared to what it used to be. So that's a bit of an indicator as well for me with feeling.
Because our feelings are a navigational system, isn't it? And I love how you've really embraced that on so many levels. Like, say, being in a long-term relationship, which, put our hands up, we all know that can be challenging. Having kids, like you say, navigating your own work, but your own stuff, your own physical body, because the busy world, we can allow all our attention to go into that busyness so that we don't look at all of that. Hey, I know that we've talked about, that you a part of you just dived into that busyness
Mm,
in the past. Yeah.
mm.
Can you, I know you shared a little bit about, that was not about feeling, but have you discovered other things underneath that busyness of why you didn't want to feel and what it was you didn't want to be feeling?
It was about, the busyness for me is about my worth.
Mm,
I've got to always be busy, and I'm worthy if I'm busy, and I'm worthy if I'm working hard. And
yeah.
yeah, that's what it was for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know so many people relate, especially women who are worth is tied up in our work or how
Yeah.
worthy we feel in relation to how others see us and what we do in the world. So how has that changed for you now?
Um, well, I just know I am worthy.
I just am.
I just am.
Yeah.
I don't feel that I need to fit in. I don't feel that I need to prove myself to anybody. I'm just doing what brings me joy, and
Yeah.
makes me happy, and that filters through my life. And a lot of stuff and a lot of people have fallen away, and so I'm less and less busy, which has created more space to do the things that are nourishing for me and fulfilling for me. So I'm
Mm.
still busy in that I'm still doing stuff, but it's stuff that feeds my soul and rejuvenates me, doesn't exhaust and deplete me.
Yeah, because there's a real energy with the word busy, I think, isn't there? I
Mm.
kind of try to drop the word busy out of my world because people would say to me, I'm busy. They would say, aren't you so busy? I'd be like, well, no, I'm full. And so I've kind of tried to replace that word busy with, no, my life is full, but I don't feel it like busy because busy has that connotation of like stress and going from one thing to the other. And yeah, so I love
And
that. It's like a
and
reframe.
when I often, because I'm a what's the reformed perfectionist, recovering, I'm a recovering busy.
Mm,
And I just, because I'm so aware of that word and that energy,
yeah.
I often notice when you say to someone, how are you? Oh, so busy. And if people haven't seen me for a while, oh, have you been really busy? I'm like, no, I'm just
Yeah.
doing what I like. And yeah, feeling fulfilled and nourished by my choices.
That's beautiful. And I love that you say that because it's something that I've noticed as well. And I'm sure if you're watching this,
Mm,
notice that how other people want to pull you into the busyness, want to pull you into that. Yeah, life's just busy and full on and stressed and this and that. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. No, we don't have to buy into that story. We
yeah.
can actually step back and go, do I agree with that? Is that actually
Mm,
how I'm seeing my life? Because
mm,
it's very much that self-perpetuating, isn't it? Especially in peer groups and friendships or families that you just sort of buy into that story and it's really
mm,
not, it's not the story anymore.
mm.
I love that.
Definitely not. Mm.
So what would you say? Because I know for you, probably you felt this at the start, and for others, when you feel like that you are busy because you've been numb and you're filling your life with all this stuff. And people can say, how am I going to fit this in? How am I going to fit this program in? How am I going to fit my practices in? Life's overwhelming as it is. I don't know if I can cope or handle it. And yet I know a different story, but I want to hear it from you. Like
Mm.
what happens with that when you kind of go, well, stuff it, I'm going to do it anyway because I know I need to do this for me. How do you find the time? How do you find the space?
Well, even that in the beginning was a mammoth process for me. And
Yeah.
I guess it's gotten easier for two reasons. One, because my kids are older, but two,
Mhm.
because I'm just not the same energy. I'm not the same busyness, and everything is just easier.
Yes.
But in the beginning, I just made it happen. Like I just did whatever it took. And yeah, I was just ready. I was ready to make the change. And when someone is ready to make a change, there's no excuses. For
Mm.
me, it's just, I just have to do it, and yeah, just make it happen. And it was, yeah, quite the process to remove myself from my life, because I was very, it's part of my busyness, I was very involved in everything. I had to
Mm.
be, I guess controlling would be a word. And again, it's certainly because my children are older, things are easier in that aspect.
Yeah.
But because so much has fallen away because I have let go. And it's like, I don't know. I don't need to do that. Somebody else can do that. Somebody else can find the answer. So I'm just not taking on stuff anymore that other people can do in whatever sense. I don't feel like someone says, oh, let's catch up, it's my responsibility to make that happen. I don't do that anymore. It's like, yeah, okay, sure, and leave that up to that person. So yeah, it was just originally just had to make it happen, and before long it was just easy. It was just part of life.
Yeah, because I love what you said before. It's like, as you started to find more spaciousness in you, because this work is so embodied and it's coming into that deep presence in you, your world just starts to free up. It's not a hard thing to start to then say no or discern what's a yes and what's a no, and things just naturally align to their highest aspect, right? So if you don't need to be stepping up for that thing, you don't do it. And if you do need to be stepping up for this thing, then you courageously start stepping up to that. So everything starts realigning for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's really important, because when people come to an edge of something, the mind wants to say, well, this is going to keep being the same and I've got to fit this into that. Well, no, your life isn't. The whole point is that your life isn't going to be the same from this moment onwards. So it is going to shift and change to be able to accommodate this, and you are going to change and your whole life is going to change. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I so remember that with you. Yeah. It's just shifted so massively. I remember.
Yeah. Well, I would get to a 3-day and it's like, oh God, I'm exhausted. I've just extracted myself from my life. And now I rock up to a 3-day and I'm like, oh, this is lovely. I'm so excited to be here. And it's just easy. Yeah.
Because it's a process, right? Like you say, you know, 1 or 2, 3 days you would have been like that. And it was just, and then it slowly evolved, it slowly shifted and changed. Hey?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It doesn't happen straight away. And probably, to be honest, it's just in this moment that I've really noticed that specific difference. So it's life just slowly, little changes. And then when you take a moment to really reflect and look back, it's like, whoa, hang on a sec, I've actually come quite far.
Yeah. It's like when you see a family member you haven't seen for a long time that's they're suddenly grown. You're like, oh, they've grown so much. And yet when you're with them every day, you know, you don't necessarily feel it. And it is the big journey. And yeah, that's what I love when I was guided to create the beacons like this. We've talked about this before. It's the long game, right? It's a year mastery. Gemma's been with us for a couple of years. You know, most of the beacons are stay with us long term, because it works and because they see that permanent change by creating the little steps and the foundations that build and build and build. And then all of a sudden, like you say, you're a different person. You know, I think it's a bit of a fallacy that, you know, we can just have a day or a week or a weekend or whatever and have everything change. Like there's so many patterns. If we can feel like that change, there's definitely the capacity for that. I mean, you felt that, like when you're on a retreat, you're like, I'm my highest self in this moment. Yeah, you can instantly get to that. But when we come back to living our daily life, we've still got all of that. And so people can find that transition really hard. The way to change all of that permanently is to have a consistent path to walk on, that yes, you can be your higher self and connect with your divinity like instantly. But to be able to operate from that place in this planet, that's a whole different cup of tea. Yeah, to really like embody that. So tell us what your life is like now. Like I say, it's a continuous journey, but I know that so many things have softened, shifted, changed, fulfillment, relationships, your intuition that's coming through, other life things that are coming through that you're clearing and realizing. There's been a lot in Gemma's world, creativity coming through that you never thought you would thought that you would be.
Exactly. That's probably the biggest thing is, you know, this story of, I'm not creative, and I look at you and your beautiful paintings, and Wendy and everybody is like so creative, Jean and her amazing drawings. It's like, I'm just sitting over here doing my thing. And but I have started to play with flow art and I love it. And I can do it with my children as well, because kids are amazing at it. And so I have found some creativity in my life, but also
Mm.
recognizing that creativity isn't painting or drawing necessarily.
Yeah.
So earlier in the week, I was sitting in my beautiful outdoor space and I was like, this is not feeling nice. And so I created a new space that felt amazing. And it was all
Mm.
guided by not how it looked, but how it felt. And so I'm sitting outside every morning again, eating my breakfast and loving it.
Mm.
So just creating beautiful spaces in my home and creating in my garden. That's the stuff that,
Mm.
and creating my fairy garden
Yes, it's beautiful.
just brings me, I just love it. And it doesn't have to be painting and drawing. It's life. Life is
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's creating a life that your soul is like, yes, this is how my soul looks on the outside, from the inside outside. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So love that. So
Mm.
love that. And so you've already mentioned your parenting and everything's easier. I know your relationships
Yeah.
have gone through shifts and that's all improved as well. Talk
Yeah.
to us a little bit
Yeah.
about your work side of things, because I know when we met, you were fully in the networking, you were sort of trying to create something. And that's share in your words what's happened with that, because you were working as well.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I've always worked part-time, and because it was only part-time, I I felt like I needed to do more, but it was a yearning to, I want more from my life. So I was seeking more through work and businesses,
Mm.
and I was trying to build a business as well as working, and I knew everything in this business was my not my joy, not my strength, and it's the messages in that business was, well, you just need to keep working on yourself and being better and you'll succeed, and if you quit, then you're quitting on yourself. And so I kept going,
Mm.
kept going, and then I was like, and COVID came, which then everything went online, and I'm like, oh no, I'm absolutely done. It had been falling away anyway, and it's like, none of this is my strength, none of this is
Yeah.
what I want to do. So that fell away, and then I actually did a big renovation at home, which I
Yeah.
absolutely loved. And so I then, once that finished, I'm like, oh, I want to do more of that. So I started another business and was trying to get that going. And it's just like, that's not going anywhere. So I've now let that just fall away and do whatever it wants to do. And now
Mm.
I'm creating.
Yeah.
And my day job has gotten a lot busier. And
Mm.
I'm also noticing in that I'm being relied upon more for HR type stuff and mental health type
Mm.
stuff. And
Mm.
it's like, oh, okay, so this is really interesting, because
Yeah.
I now have the confidence in myself that I can help people with that.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously helping with the beacons as well. So just,
Mm.
doing, and it all that stuff, helping and supporting people, is what I
Yeah.
love. That
Yeah.
brings me joy and makes me feel amazing. So so
Oh,
I've
and
just
I
let
love
all the other
that.
crap fall away.
Yeah, and I really want to speak to that if we can, because I see it all the time in the personal development world, of people feeling like they have to separate themselves from the thing that's not working for them and create their own thing that, and for some people, yes, that's their journey. But like you say, you were trying to fit yourself into this other mold, but you didn't want to do the marketing, you didn't want to do the online, you didn't want to do this, you could feel that really at the heart it wasn't using your skills and talents.
Hmm.
And yet, oh yeah, and that message that you said that, just if you're better, you'll be able to do this better, and it's about you, and it's like, oh my goodness, what if it's just not aligned? And the mind just wants to say, it's that thing that's bringing me down, so I just need to create a new thing and then I'll be okay, as opposed to, well, no, you're still in that thing, right? So you're still the same person. So yeah, it is about you being better, but not better at the thing, better at being you, right? Better at really knowing you, so that you can really tune into your skills and talents and allow them to shine wherever you are. Because I know for me, this creating heaven on earth is about you shining where you are. And we need incredible, amazing people in corporate, and we need incredibly amazing, beautiful, aligned souls in building industry. And, you know, we need you everywhere, not just everyone trying to create their own, you know, oils and whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so I love it's this journey of allowing some of that to fall away and coming back to just really going deeper and more fulfilling and more nourishing in what you're already doing. And the mind wants to say that's a failure. And it's like, no, it's actually not. You had already found something that you were really good at. And it was just being more you to find the nourishment in that. And like you say, now it's blossoming as well into more of those skills and talents. You can bring more of that. It's just, that just makes my heart sing.
Yeah.
It really does.
And it wasn't until I realized that my soul knew this is what you're meant to be doing. I've been doing it all along, but I had to realize it. And it wasn't until I realized it that I could confidently say, all this other stuff, it's no more. Don't need it. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a process. But now it's like, oh, so when I'm not doing my work, that's where I can now do my creativity stuff and the other stuff that I love. So, yeah.
Be more present with your little beautiful girls. Yeah. And that creativity, you tapping now into your own inner creator and expressing that in different ways. If there is anything else for you, whether it's within this business or elsewhere, that's, as we know, is how it's going to show itself in the world, right? Rather than this, I have to do something else to get me out of this. Oh, so
that's just
good.
Started in the last couple of days or weeks, so that's very interesting.
I love it. Love it. And, you know, through all of this allowing, you know, I know Gemma's been on a really big path of receiving, like allowing the receiving of your worth, of the peace, of the joy. And it's brought some really profound intuition, isn't it? I know that you have some really great downloads. You're an amazing facilitator. Like within the Beacons, we do a lot of deep process work. It requires some very deep presence for those of us that are holding, or not holding the space, but creating the space and being a support for people going through that process. So is there anything you want to share about what that's been like for you, being able to learn to trust that intuition and that comes through and feeling so much more?
Yeah, life is a lot easier when you trust your intuition. You know, that first thought that pops in when you think, you know, it's like you've got a question and something pops in. And I'll give this, it seems like so ridiculous and such a small thing, but I had something happen the other day and I was like almost dancing, jumping for joy in amazement of this little thing that just happened. And it's just a perfect example of trusting your intuition, which I do a lot easier now, although I don't realize it. So I bought a couple of pairs of shorts for my dad for Christmas. Didn't know what size to get. Bought it the size. It was the wrong size. And I was like, oh, so I had to go back to the shops. And I'm like, no, I'm going today. I'm not going tomorrow. Went back to the shops, dragged the kids out just before bed and went back to the shop. And I guess I knew these shorts were going to be popular. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure if the size is going to be there. And I went there and the size was not there. And I was like, oh, God. And I was like, just please make the right size turn up. And so I'm walking to the service desk and I'm thinking, and I'm like, maybe another store will have one that we can go and get. And then a message came, go and have a look in that other section. And I walked over to the other section. I walked straight to a rack. Second pair of shorts was the pair I needed in the wrong spot, in the size I needed. And I was like, oh my God, that didn't just happen. And I'm like, oh my God, that just really just happened. And they're just like, are you magic, Mummy? I'm like, yes, I am.
So I totally am.
But, you know, just it's the little things and like that, trusting that. Had I not trusted that and had I walked to the counter and said, can you please phone around? Does any other store have permission to the store? Blah, blah, blah. I just trusted. I followed my instincts, my intuition, and it was done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it seems so little, but it's those little tiny things that make life so much easier. So now I had half a day free because I didn't mission around ignoring my intuition.
And it's the little tiny things that build up the faith for the big
Yeah.
things. Because if you don't recognize those little tiny
Yeah.
things and the play of the mind, right? Because the mind was getting in the way, but then you kind of get the download and you're like, oh, hang on, that was different. That was different to what was going on over here with the mind. And when we really acknowledge and we celebrate those, and we're big in celebrations, you know, in our community, so important. When you celebrate it, it's like, okay, well, now I can trust because now I got a big thing. I got something that feels a little bit more risky that I have to trust. And if we can't do that in the little ways, there's no way on earth we're going to do it for the big stuff. You know,
and I did then the very next day have something a bit bigger. And then I had the courage to speak to my husband about it and say, like, this is what's happened after yesterday's little thing. And so, you know, there's some things we need to do now, some steps we need to take. I now know what the steps are. Let's do it and see what happens. So,
great. And what a weight off, isn't it? You know, I think for me, it's like the weight off your shoulders when you can really trust that intuition. You don't have to keep looping around with the mind that can only give you the same kind of freaking solutions that it's given you before. It's like, oh, I can just allow that.
And and knowing this is exactly what I need to do. I don't know how it's going to turn out. It doesn't matter because it's what I need to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The outcome is irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly. We let go of the outcome. You just know that that's the process. And this is a journey, everyone. Like if you're hearing this going, how do you kind of discern? It's a process of discernment. It's a process of embodiment. It's a process of listening to your feelings. It's a process of gently dealing with your fears. So you can get all that stuff that's interfering with your true, clear, download intuition, and you're still going to have your mind and you're still going to have the other stuff going on, but you learn to feel and hear what the difference is in that voice and get all that other stuff out of the way long enough to be able to hear it. And train yourself to be able to take those steps and to be able to hear, and you're doing an awesome job of it.
Well, and that is really only in the last couple of weeks that it's solidified or embodied on a whole nother level as well. It's I'm a lot more aware of it now.
Yeah, because like you said before, you've been doing it, but then not always realizing that you're doing it. And the more aware we are, the more present are we really see it. Yeah.
And celebrate it, enjoy it. It's so much fun.
Because you've been doing that with the beacons for a long time as a facilitator. You've been trusting your intuition, saying the right things, you know, feeling what someone else is feeling, that whole,
but not really realizing that.
Now you can actually own it.
Yes, which is so
fun. Awesome, owning it.
Yes.
So I think that this has been so good. I could keep chatting for ages, but I've got to go and teach yoga, and we've been on for half an hour. So I think we should probably wind it up on that really great celebratory note. If there was anything that you had as a message for someone who was, say, you 4 or 5 years ago, what might you say to them if they're kind of in that place and they're wanting to create some change?
You are worth it. And life can be so much better than just fine. And just okay. It can be nourishing and fulfilling and fun.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yes, it can, if you're watching this. And Gemma's proof of it.
Yeah.
Awesome, my darling. Thank you so much for coming along today. Thank you so much for just, being an angel that supports this community. And we can't wait to see you at the weekend. We're having a little Beacon breakup, so we'll see you then.
Looking forward to it.
Darling. And Tina, if you're watching, and anyone that is curious about this program, you can just PM me. But we're just going to pop a link down here as well in the comments below, where you can get a little bit more information on the program. It's one of those things that's a little hard to explain. It's always easier to sort of talk with you and find out what your challenges are, what it is that you want to bring to the world, and see whether this is, the right fit for you. So you can do that. There we go. It's just popped up here now. Thank you so much, Tina, our beautiful assistant. So you can jump onto this link for a little bit more information, and you can book a chat with me. And if you need anything else, you can just send us a message or pop a comment below. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Thanks again, Gemma. Mwah. So much love to you all. We're going to jump off this live now.